Good morning everyone. Today's session will cover key aspects of grounding and banding as mandated by the Philippine Electrical Code or PC. We'll focus on section 2.50.4 and 2.50.5 addressing enclosure, raceway and service cable connection as well as general banding requirements. 2.50.4 Enclosure, raceway and service cable connection. Service raceway and enclosure. Metal enclosure and raceway for service conductors and equipment shall be connected to the grounded system conductor if the electrical system is grounded, or to the grounding electrode conductor for electrical systems that are not grounded. Exception: metal components that are installed in a run of underground non-metallic raceways and are isolated from possible contact by a minimum cover of 450 mm to all parts of metal components shall not be required to be connected to the grounded system conductor, supply side banding jumper, or grounding electrode conductor. We begin with section 2.50.4 concerning the proper connection of service raceways and enclosure. Specifically, 2.50.4.1 dictates that metal enclosure and raceway containing service conductor must be bonded to the ground system conductor or the grounding electrode conductor. This requirement ensures a low impedance path for fault current, facilitating the operation of overcurrent protective devices. The connection minimizes voltage potential between the enclosure and ground, reducing the risk of electrical shock. Note that this applies to metallic component used to house service entrance conductor. 2.50.4.7 Other conductor enclosure and raceway. Except as permitted by 2.50.6.3. 1. Metal enclosure and raceway for other than service conductor shall be connected to the equipment grounding conductor. Exception number 1. Metal enclosure and raceway for conductor added to existing installation of open wire, no bad tube wiring, and non-metallic sheet cable shall not be required to be connected to the equipment grounding conductor, where this enclosure or wiring method comply with 1 through 4 as follow. 1. Do not provide an equipment ground. 2. Are in runs of less than 7,500 mm. 3. Are free from probable contact with grounded metal, metallat, or other conductive material. 4. Are guarded against contact by person. Moving to section 2.50.4.7, we address enclosures and raceway for conductors other than service conductors. Here the requirement shifts slightly. Metal enclosure and raceway containing this conductor must be connected to the equipment grounding conductor or EGC. The EGC provides a path for fault current back to the source, tripping the overcurrent device. This is crucial for protecting personnel and equipment from ground faults in ground circuit and feeders. 2.50.4.5 Underground service cable or raceway. A. Underground service cable. The sheet or armor of the continuous underground metal sheet or armor service cable system that is connected to the grounded system conductor on the supply side shall not be required to be connected to the grounded system conductor at the building or structure. The sheet or armor shall be permitted to be insulated from the interior metal raceway or pipe. B. Underground service raceway containing cable. An underground metal service raceway shall contain a metal sheet or armor cable connection to the ground system conductor shall not be required to be connected to the ground system conductor at the building or structure. The sheet or armor shall be permitted to be insulated from the interior metal raceway or piping. Section 2.50.4.5 addresses underground service cables and raceway. Letter A states that the metal sheet of an underground service cable does not need to be connected to the grounding electrode at the building if it's already effectively grounded on the supply side. Letter B extends to this underground service raceway containing metal sheet cable if the sheet is grounded at the source of a redundant ground at the building. is typically unnecessary. This avoids potential circulating currents. Exception number 2, short section of metal enclosure or raceway used to provide support or protection of cable assemblies from physical damage shall not be required to be connected to the equipment grounding conductor. Exception number 3, metal components shall not be required to be connected to the equipment grounding conductor or supply side bonding jumper where either of the following conditions exist. Number 1, the metal components are installed in a run of a non-metallic raceway and isolated from possible contact by a minimum cover of 450 mm to any part of the metal components. Number 2, the metal components are part of an installation of non-metallic raceways and are isolated from possible contact to any part of metal components by being encased in not less than 50 mm of concrete. However, it's crucial to be aware of the exemption outlined in section 2.50.4. Exception number 2 permits the omission of an AGC connection for short section of metal enclosure used solely for physical protection. Exception number 3 addresses metal components with a non-metallic raceway provided specific isolation conditions are met. These exceptions are narrowly defined and should be applied with careful consideration. 2.50.5 Banding 2.50.5.1 General banding shall be provided where necessary to ensure electrical continuity and the capacity to conduct safely and fault current likely to be imposed. 2.50.5.3 Services. A. Banding equipment for services. The normally non-current carrying metal parts equipment indicated in 2.50.5.3 A1 and A2 shall be banded together. Number 1, all raceway cable trays, cable bus, framework, auxiliary gutters, or service cable armor, or sheet that enclose, contain, or support service conductor, except as permitted in 2.50.4.1. Number 2, all enclosure containing service conductor, including meter fittings, boxes, or the like interposed in the service raceway or armor. Now let's transition to section 2.50.5, which deals with banding, and 2.50.5.3 Services. Section 2.50.5.1 establishes the general principle of banding, ensuring electrical continuity and the capacity to safety conduct any fault current likely to be imposed. Section 2.50.5.3 specifically mandates banding of all metal parts service equipment. And section 2.50.5.1 General and 2.50.5.3 Services. This is paramount for creating a low impedance ground fault current path. Effective banding minimizes touch potential during a fault, reducing risk of electrical shock. B. Method of banding at the service. Banding jumpers meeting the requirements of this article shall be used around impaired connections such as reducing washer or oversized connection or concentric or eccentric. Standard lock nuts or bushing shall not be only means for banding required by this section but shall be permitted to be installed to make a mechanical connection of a raceway. Electrical continuity at service equipment, service raceway, and service conductor enclosure shall be ensured by one of the following methods. Number 1, banding equipment to the grounded service conductor in a manner provided in 2.50.1.8. Number 2, connection utilize threaded couplings or threaded hubs on enclosure if made up race tight. Threadless couplings and connectors if made up tight for metal raceway and metal clad cables. Number 4, other listed devices as banding type, lock nuts, bushing, or bushing with banding jumpers. Methods of banding at the service. Section 2.50.5.3 outlines acceptable methods of banding at the service. Banding jumpers are essential for bypassing any potential compromised connection. This jumper must be sized appropriately and installed to ensure a reliable electrical connection. 50.5.5 Bonding for communication system. Communication system bonding termination shall be connected in accordance with A or B. A. The inter-system bonding termination device. An inter-system bonding termination IBT for connecting inter-system bonding conductors shall be provided external to enclosure at the service equipment or metering equipment enclosure and at the disconnecting means for any additional building or structures. If an IBT is used, it shall comply with the following. Number 1. Be accessible for connection and inspection. 2. Consists of a set of terminals with the capacity for connection of less than 3 intersystem bonding conductors. 3. Not interfere with opening closure for a service building or structure disconnecting means or metering equipment. 4. At the service equipment be securely mounted and electrically connected to an enclosure for the service equipment to the meter enclosure or to an exposed non-flexible metallic service raceway or be mounted at one of these enclosure and be connected to a enclosure or to the grounding electrode conductor with a minimum 14 mm squared copper conductor. Section 2.50.5.5 addresses the bonding of communication system. Letter A introduces the inter-system bonding termination or IBT device. The IBT provides a central termination point for bonding communication system, grounding conductors to the building's grounding electrode system. This minimizes potential differences between the power and communication system. At the disconnecting means for a building or structure, be securely mounted and electrically connected to the metallic enclosure for the building or structure. Disconnecting means or be mounted at the disconnecting means and be connected to the metallic enclosure or to the grounding electric conductor with a minimum 14 mm squared copper conductor. Number 6. The terminal shall be listed as grounding and bonding equipment. Exception. In existing building or structure where any of the inter-system bonding and grounding electrode conductor required by 770.100B 8.0.4.1 8.10.2.11 8.20.4.1 and 8.30.4.1. Access and installation of the inter-system bonding termination is not required. An accessible means external to enclosure for connecting inter-system bonding and grounding electrode conductor shall be permitted at the service equipment and at the disconnecting means for any additional building or structures by the least one of the following means. Number 1. Exposed non-flexible metallic raceway. Number 2. An exposed grounding electrode conductor. The IBT must be accessible and have sufficient terminal capacity for all required conductors. It must also be securely mounted and connected to the service equipment enclosure. Number 3. Approved means for the external connection of a copper or other corrosion-resistant bonding or grounding electrode conductor to the grounded raceway or equipment. If PA number 1, a 14 mm squared copper conductor with one end bonded to the ground non-flexible metallic raceway or equipment and with 150 mm or more of the other end made accessible on the outside wall is an example of approved means covered in 2.50.5.5. Exception item number 3. If PN number 2 C 7.70.4.1 8.0.4.1 8.10.2.11 8.20.4.1 and 8.30.4.1 for inter-system bonding and grounding requirements for conductive optical fiber cables, communication circuit, radio and television equipment, CETV circuit and network powered broadband communication system respectively. An exception exists for existing building under specific condition. If adequate inter-system bonding and grounding electrical conductors are already in place, the installation of a new IBT may not be required. However, this should should be carefully evaluated on a case-by-case basis. B. Other means. Connection to an aluminum or copper bus bar not less than 6 mm thick by 50 mm wide and of sufficient length to accommodate at least 3 terminations per communication system in addition to other connections. The bus bar shall be securely fastened and shall be installed in an accessible location. Connection shall be made by a listed connector if aluminum bus bar are used. The installation shall also comply with 2.50.3.15a. Exception to A and B means for connecting inter-system bonding conductors are not required where communication systems are not likely to be used. FPN. The use of an IBT can reduce electrical noise on communication system. Section 2.50.5.5b allows for alternative bonding methods. Connection to aluminum or copper bus bar are permitted, provided the bus bar meets specific requirements for conductivity and mechanical strength. 2.50.5.7 Bonding other enclosures. A. General. Metal raceway, cable trays, cable armor, cable sheet, enclosure, frames, fittings, and other metal non-current carrying parts to to serve as equipment grounding conductors. With or without the use of supplementary equipment grounding conductors, shall be bonded where necessary to ensure electrical continuity and capacity to conduct safely any fault current likely to be imposed on them. Any non-conductive paint, enamel, or seminal coating shall be removed at straight contact points and contact surfaces, or be connected by means of fitting design so as to make such removal. And 2.50.5.7 Bonding other enclosure. Extend to bonding requirements of other enclosure. Metal raceway, cable trays, and other enclosures must be bonded to ensure electrical continuity. This creates a continuous ground fault current path throughout the electrical system. B. Isolated grounding circuits were installed for the reduction of electrical noise, electromagnetic interference. On the grounding circuit, an equipment enclosure supplied by a branch circuit shall be permitted to be isolated from a raceway containing circuits supplying only that equipment by one or more rested non-metallic raceway fitting located at the point of attachment of the raceway to the equipment. The metal raceway shall comply with provision of this article and shall be supplemented by an internal insulated equipment grounding conductor installed in accordance with 2.50.7.17d to the ground equipment enclosure. FPN. Use of an isolated equipment grounding conductor does not relieve the requirements for grounding the raceway system. 2.50.5.8 Bonding for over 250 volts. For circuit of over 250 volts to ground, the electrical continuity of metal raceway and cable with metal sheet that contain any conductor other than service conductor shall be ensured by one or more of the methods specified for services in 2.50.5.3b except for B1. Section 2.50.5.7 and 2.50.5.8 address specific bonding requirements for isolated grounding circuit and system operating over 250 volts. Isolated grounding circuit required careful attention to minimize electrical noise. System over 250 volts demand robust bonding to handle potentially higher fault currents. Exception where oversized concentric or eccentric knockouts are not encountered or where a box or enclosure with a concentric or eccentric knockouts is listed to provide a reliable bonding connection. The following method shall be permitted. Threadless couplings and connectors for cables with metal sheet. 2 lock nuts on rigid metal conduit or intermediate metal conduit, one inside and one outside of the boxes and cabinet. Number 3. Fitting with shoulder that sit firmly against the box or cabinet, such as electrical metallic tubing connectors, flexible metal conduit, connectors and cable connectors with one lock nut on the inside of the boxes and cabinet. 4. Listed fittings. An exemption is provided for certain situations where oversized knockout are not encountered or listed boxes are utilized. This allows for flexibility in specific installation provided the overall integrity of the grounding system is maintained. 2.50.5.9 Bonding loosely jointed metal wristway. Expansion fittings and telescopic section of metal wristway shall be made electrically continuous by equipment bonding jumpers or other means. 2.50.5.11 Bonding in hazardous classified locations. Regardless of the voltage of the electrical system, the electrical continuity of non-current carrying metal parts of equipment, wristway, and other enclosures in any hazardous location as defined in 50.0.1.5.5.1.5 and 5.6.1.5 shall be ensured by any of the bonding method specified in 2.50.5.3b through by B4. One or more of these bonding methods shall be used whether or not equipped bonding conductors of the wire type are installed. FANC 5.1.2.21, 5.2.2.2.21, 5.3.2.21, 5.5.1.25, or 5.6.1.25 for specific bonding requirements. Section 2.50.5.9 and Section 2.50.5.11 address bonding in specialized application. Expansion fittings in wristway must maintain electrical continuity. Hazardous location demand adherence to specific bonding methods to mitigate explosion risk. 2.50.5.13 Grounded conductors and jumper conductor bonding. A. Material bonding jumper shall be copper, aluminum, copper-clad aluminum, or other corrosion-resistant material. A bonding jumper shall be a wire bus, screw, or similar suitable conductor. B. Attachment. Bonding jumper shall be attached in the manner specified with the application provision of 2.50.1.8 for circuit and equipment and by 2.50.3.21 for grounding electrodes. C. Size supply size bonding jumper. 1. Size for supply conductor in a single wristway or cable. The supply side bonding jumper shall not be smaller than specified in Table 2.50.5.13 C1. Section 2.50.13 outlines requirements for grounded conductors, bonding conductors, and jumping. This component must be corrosion resistant and properly attached. The size of supply side bonding jumper is determined by the size of the supply conductors. 2. Size for parallel conductor insulation in two or more wristway or cables. Where the undergrounded supply conductors are parallel in two or more wristway or cables, and an individual supply side bonding jumper is used for bonding these wristway or cables, the size of the supply side bonding jumper for each wristway or cable should be selected from the Table 2.50.5.13c. 1. Based on the size of the ungrounded supply conductors in each wristway or cable, a single supply side bonding jumper installed for bonding two or more wristway or cables shall be sized in accordance with 2.50.5.13c1. If P in number 1, the term supply conductor includes the undergrounded conductors that do not have overcurrent protection on their supply side and terminate at service equipment or the first disconnecting means of separate derived system. If in number 2, see Table 10.1.1.8 for a cross-sectional area of conductors 0.75 mm squared, 1.0 mm through 100 mm squared. Table 2.50.5.13 grounding conductor, main bonding jumper, system bonding jumper, and supply side bonding jumper for alternating current system. Size of largest ungrounded conductor or equivalent area for parallel conductors. Millimeter squared. Copper 30 or smaller, 38 or 50, 60 or 80 over 80 through 175 over 175 through 30, 325 over 325 through 500 over 500. Aluminum or copper clad aluminum 50 or smaller, 60 or 80, 100 or 125 over 125 through 250 over 250 through 400 over 400 through 850 over 850. Copper 8.0 or 3.2, 14, 22, 30, 50, 60. Aluminum or copper clad aluminum 40, 22, 30, 50, 80, or 100. Note, if the underground supply conductors are larger than 500 mm squared copper or 850 mm squared aluminum, the grounded conductor of bonding jumper shall have an area not less than 12% of the area of the largest grounded supply conductors or equivalent area for parallel supply conductors. The grounded conductors or bonding shall not be required to be larger than the largest ungrounded conductor or set of undergrounded conductor. 2. If the undergrounded supply conductors are larger than 500 mm squared copper or 850 mm squared aluminum, and if the ungrounded supply conductors and the bonding jumpers are of different materials, copper, aluminum, or copper-clad aluminum, the minimum size of the grounded conductor or bonding jumper shall be based on the assumed use of undergrounded supply conductors of the same material as the grounded conductor or bonding jumper and will have an ampacity equivalent to that of installed ungrounded supply conductors. 3. If multiple set of service entrance conductors are used as permitted in 2.30.4.1, exception number 2, or if multiple set of ungrounded supply conductors are installed for a separate derived system, the equivalent size of the largest undergrounded supply conductor shall be determined by the largest sum of the areas of the corresponding conductors of each set. 4. If there are no service entrance conductors, the supply conductor size shall be determined by the equivalent size of the largest service entrance conductor required for the load to be served. For the purposes of applying the table and its notes, the term bonding jumper refers to main bonding jumper system bonding jumpers and supply side bonding jumpers. D. Size equipment bonding jumpers on load. Size of an overcurrent device. The equipment bonding jumper on the load side of the overcurrent devices shall be sized in accordance with 2.50.6.13 FANCT Bulletin for a cross-sectional area of conductor 0.75 mm squared through 100 mm squared. A single common continuous equipment bonding jumper shall be permitted to connect two or more raceway or cable if the bonding jumper is sized in accordance with 2.50.6.13 for the largest overcurrent device supplying circuits therein. Size for parallel conductor installation and table 2.50.5.13 C1 grounded conductors, main bonding jumpers, system bonding jumpers, and supply side bonding jumper for alternating current system and notes on table 2.50.5.3 C1. Slide 17 through 21 provide detailed information on sizing requirements for parallel conductor installation and present table 2.50.5.13 C1, which is critical for determining the appropriate size of grounding conductors, main bonding jumpers, system bonding jumpers, and supply side bonding jumpers in AC system. Love you. Installation, bonding jumpers or conductors and equipment bonding jumpers shall be permitted to be installed inside or outside of a raceway or an enclosure. 1. Inside a raceway or an enclosure. If installed inside a raceway, equipment bonding jumper and the bonding jumpers or conductors shall comply with the requirements of 2.50.6.10 and 2.50.7.19. Number 2. Outside a raceway or an enclosure, if installed on the outside, the length of the bonder jumper or conductor or equipment bonding jumper shall not exceed 1:100 mm and shall be routed with the raceway or enclosure. Exception: an equipment banding jumper or supply side banding jumper longer than 1,100 mm shall be permitted at outside pole location for the purpose of banding or grounding isolation section of metal raceway or elbow installed in exposed riser of metal conduit or other metal raceway, and for banding grounding electrodes, and shall not be required to be routed with a raceway or enclosure. Number 3. Protection: banding jumper or conductor and equipment banding jumper shall be installed in accordance with 2.50.3.15 A and B. Size: equipment banding jumper on load side of an overcurrent device and insulation. Section 2.50.5.13 addresses the sizing of equipment banding jumpers on the load size of an overcurrent device. Section 2.50.5.13 details insulation requirements. Proper sizing is crucial for ensuring adequate fault current capacity. Installation must adhere to best practice to ensure a reliable and long-lasting connection. 2.50.5.15 Banding of piping system and exposed structural metal. A. Metal water piping. The metal water piping system shall be banded as required in A1 and A2 or A3 of this section. General metal water piping system. Number 1. General metal water piping system installed in or attached to a building or structure shall be banded to any of the following. Number 1. Service equipment enclosure. Number 2. Grounded conductor at the service. Number 3. Grounding electrode conductor if of sufficient size. Number 4. One or more grounding electrodes used if the grounding electrode conductor or banding jumper to the grounding electrode is of sufficient size. The banding jumper shall be installed in accordance with 2.50.3.15A, 2.50.3.15B, and 2.50.3.15A. The points of attachment of the banding jumper shall be accessible. The banding jumper shall be sized in accordance with Table 2.50.5.13C 1 except as permitted in 2.50.5.15A2 and 2.50.5.15A3. Buildings of multiple occupancy. In building of multiple occupancy where the metal water outside a raceway or enclosure and protection. Section 2.50.5.13A2 imposes length restriction on external banding jumpers. Section 2.50.5.13A3 mandates protection from physical damage. These requirements are designed to prevent damage to the banding jumper which could compromise the integrity of the grounding system. Piping system installed in or attached to a building or structure for the individual occupancies is mechanically isolated from all other occupancies. By use of non-metal water piping, the metal water piping system for each occupancy shall be permitted to be banded to the equipment grounding terminal of the switchgear, switchboard, or panel board enclosure. Other than service equipment supplying that occupancy, the banding jumper shall be sized in accordance with Table 2.50.5.13D. Number 3. Multiple buildings or structures supplied by a feeder or branch circuit. The metal water piping system installed in or attached to a building or structure shall be banded to any of the following. Number 1. Building or structure disconnecting means enclosure were located at the building or structure. Number 2. Equipment grounding conductor run with supply conductor. Number 3. One or more grounding electrodes used. Section 2.50.5.15 addresses the banding of piping system and exposed structural metal. Specifically requires the banding of metal water piping system. The banding jumper shall be sized in accordance with Table 2.50.5.13 based on the size of the feeder or branch circuit conductor that supplies the building or structure. The banding jumper shall not be required to be larger than the largest undergrounded feeder or branch circuit conductor supplying the building or structure. Other metal piping. If installed in or attached to a building or structure, a metal piping system including gas piping that is likely to become energized shall be bonded to any the following. Number 1. Equipment grounding conductor for the circuit that is likely to energize the piping system. Number 2. Service equipment enclosure. Number 1. Equipment grounding conductor for the circuit that is likely to energize the piping system. Number 2. Service equipment enclosure. Number 3. Grounded conductor at the service. Number 4. Grounding electrode conductor if of sufficient size. Number 5. One or more grounding electrodes used if the grounding electrode conductor or bonding jumper to the grounding electrode is of sufficient size. Section 2.50.5.15 outlines general bonding requirements. Section 2.50.5.15 addresses building of multiple occupancy. Bonding must be connected to the service equipment grounded conductor or grounding electrode. Building with multiple occupancies require careful coordination to ensure effective bonding throughout the structure. Bonding conductors or jumpers shall be sized in accordance with Table 2.50.6.13 and equipment grounding conductors shall be sized in accordance with Table 2.50.6.13 using the rating of the circuit that is likely to energize the piping system. The points of attachment of the bonding jumper shall be accessible. FAA number 1, bonding all piping and metal air ducts within the premises will provide additional safety. A table detailing bonding requirements for multiple buildings or structures supplied by a feeder or branch circuit. This table provides guidance on the appropriate bonding methods for various configuration or interconnected buildings. FAA number 2, additional information for gas piping system can be found in section 2.7.13 of NFPA 54 2015 National Fuel Gas Code. Structural metal exposed structural metal that is interconnected to form a metal building frame and is not intentionally grounded or bonding and is likely to become energized shall be bonded to any of the following. Number 1. Service equipment enclosure. Number 2. Grounded conductor at the service. Number 3. Disconnecting means for building or structure supplied by a feeder or branch circuit. Grounding electrode conductor if of sufficient size. Number 4. One or more grounding electrode used if the grounding electrode conductor or bonding jumper to the ground electrode is of sufficient size. Section 2.50.5.15 extend bonding requirements to other metal piping system. This includes gas piping, compressed or air piping, and other metallic piping system that could become energized. The bonding conductor or jumper shall be sized in accordance with Table 2 and installed in accordance with 2.50.315, 2.50.315B, and 2.50.315E. The points of attachment of a bonding jumper shall be accessible unless installed in compliance with 2.50.3.19E. Exception number 2. Separately derived system, metal water piping system, structural metal that is interconnected to form a building frame shall be bonded to separately derived system in accordance with 2.50.5.15D1 through 2.50.5.15D3. Section 2.50.5.15 addresses the bonding of exposed structural metal. This is crucial for minimizing potential differences between structural elements and other grounding components. 1. Metal water piping system. The grounded conductor of each separate derived system shall be bonded to the nearest available point of the metal water piping system. In the area served by each separate derived system, this connection shall be made at the same point on the separate derived system where the grounding electrode conductor is connected. Each bonding jumper shall be sized in accordance with Table 2.50.5.13. Based on the largest underground conductor of the separate derived system. Exception number 1. A separate bonding jumper to the metal water piping system shall not be required if the metal water piping system is used as the grounding electrode for the separate drive system and the water piping system is in the area served. Exception number 2. A separate water piping bonding jumper shall be building or structure is used as the grounding electrode for a separate drive system and is bonded to the metal water piping in the area served by the separate not be required where the metal frame of our drive system. Number 2. Structural metal where exposed structural metal that is interconnected to form the building frame exists in the area served by the separate drive system. It shall be bonded to the grounded conductor of each separate drive system. This connection shall be made at the same point on the separate drive system where the grounding electrode conductor is connected. Each bonding jumper shall be sized in accordance with Table 2.50.5.13 based on the largest underground conductor of the separate drive system. Exception number 1. A separate bonding jumper to the building structural metal shall not be required where the metal frame of a building or structure is used as the grounding electrode for the separate drive system. Exception number 2. A separate bonding jumper to the building structural metal shall not be required where the water piping of the building or structure is used as the grounding electrode for a separate drive system and is bonded to the building structural metal in the area served by separate drive system. Section 2.50.5.15 addresses bonding requirements for separate drive system. 1. Especially address metal water piping system and structural metal. These components must be bonded to the grounded conductor of each drive system. Common grounding electrode conductor. If a common grounding electrode conductor is installed for multiple separate drive systems as per by 2.50.2.11, an exposed structural metal that is interconnected to form the building frame or interior metal piping exists in the area served by separate drive system. The metal piping and the structural metal member shall be bonded to common grounding electrode conductor in the area served by the separate drive system. Exception A. Separate bonding jumper from each drive system to metal water piping and structural metal member shall not be required where the metal water piping and the structural metal members in the area served by the separate drive system are bonded to the common grounding electrode conductor. 2.50.5.17 Lightning Protection System. The lightning protection system ground terminal shall be bonded to the building or structure grounding electrode system. Section 2.50.5.15 addresses the use of common grounding electrode conductor. Section 2.50.5.17 addresses lightning protection system. Bonding to a common grounding electrode conductor is essential for minimizing ground loops. Lightning protection system ground terminal must also be bonded to the building grounding system. FAN number 1 C 2.50.3.11 for use of strike termination devices. For further information, see NFEE 780-2014 standard for installation of lightning protection system, which contain detailed information on grounding, bonding, and side flash distance from lightning protection system. FAN number 2 metal raceway enclosure frame and other non-current carrying metal parts of electrical equipment installed on a building equipment with a lightning protection system may require bonding or spacing from the lightning protection conductors in accordance with NFPA 780-2013 standard for installation of lightning protection system. Finally, this slide presents a FAN related to lightning protection system and bonding. FAN provides supplementary information and guidance but are not enforceable requirements. That concludes part 1 of grounding and bonding. We covered enclosure and raceway connection, as well as general requirements. 2.50.6 Equipment grounding and equipment grounding conductors. 2.50.6.1 Equipment fastened in a place, fixed or connected by permanent wiring methods. Expose non-normally non-current-carrying metal parts of fixed equipment supplied by or enclosing conductor or components that are likely to become regardless shall be connected to an equipment grounding conductor under any of the following condition. Number 1, where within 2,500 millimeter vertical or 1,500 mm horizontally of ground or grounded metal object and subject to contact by person. Number 2, were located in a wet or damp location and not isolated. Number 3, were an electrical contact with metal. 4, were in hazardous location as covered by Article 5.0 through 5.17. Number 5, were supplied by a wiring method that provides an equipment grounding conductor except as permitted by 2.50.4.7. Exception number 2 for short circuit of metal enclosure. Number 6, where equipment operates with any terminal at over 150 volts to the ground. Exception number 1. The metal frame of electrically heated appliances that have frame permanently and effectively insulated from ground shall not be required to be grounded. Exception number 2. Distribution apparatus such as transformer and capacitor cases mounted on a wooden poles at a height exceeding 2,500 mm above ground or grade level shall not be required to be grounded. Exception number 3. Listed equipment protected by a system of double insulation or its equivalent shall not be required to be connected to the equipment grounding conductor. Where such a system is employed, the equipment shall be distinctively marked. 2.50.6.3 specific equipment fastened in a place is connected by permanent wiring methods except as permitted in 2.50.6.3 F and I expose normally non-current carrying metal parts of equipment described in 2.50.6.3 A through key and normally non-current metal parts of equipment enclosures described in 2.50.6.3 L and M shall be connected to the equipment grounding conductor regardless of voltage. Switchgear and switchboard frames and structures, switchgear or switchboard frames and structures supporting switching equipment except frames of two-wire switchgear or switchboard were effectively insulated from ground. B. Pipe organs, generator, and motor frames in electrically operated pipe organ, unless effectively insulated from ground and the motor driving it. C. Motor frame as provided by 4.30.13.2. D. Enclosure for motor controllers, unless attached to ungrounded portable equipment. A. Elevators and cranes. Electrical equipment for elevators and cranes. Garages, theaters, and motion picture studio. Electrical equipment in commercial garages, theater, and motion picture studio except pendant lamp holders supplied by circuit not over 150 volts to ground. G. Electrical sign, outline lighting, and associated equipment as provided in 60.1.7. H. Motion picture projection equipment, motion picture project equipment. Piping and structural bonding. General bonding is key metal pipes, water, gas, etc. and the building steel frames connected to the grounding system, providing a safe escape route to prevent stray electricity from causing shock. I. Remote control, signaling, and fire alarm circuit equipment supplied by Class 1 circuit shall be grounded unless operating at less than 50 volts. Equipment supplied by Class 1 power limited circuit by Class 2 and Class 3 remote control and signaling circuit and by fire alarm circuit shall be grounded where system grounding is required by Part 2.50.2 or Part 2.50.8. J. Luminaires as provided in Part 4.10.5. Key skid mounted equipment. Permanently mounted electrical equipment and skids shall be connected to the equipment grounding conductor size as required by 2.50.6.13. L. Motor operated water pumps, including the submersible type. Metal wheel casing, where a submersible pump is used in a metal wheel casing, the wheel casing shall be connected to the pump circuit equipment grounding conductor. 2.50.6.5 equipment conductor by cord and plug under any of conditions described in 2.50.6.15.1 through 4. Suppose normally non-current carrying metal parts of cord and plug connected equipment shall be connected to the equipment grounding conductor, except listed tools, listed appliances, and listed equipment above in 2.50.6.15 2 through 4 shall not be required to be connected to an equipment. Grounding conductor were protected by a system of double insulation or its equivalent. Double insulated equipment shall be distinctly marked. Number 1. In hazard controlling locations, Article 5.0 through 5.17. Number 2. Were operated at over 150 volt to ground exemption to number 1 motor exception number 1 motors were guarded shall not be required to be connected to an equipment grounding conductor. Exception number 2 metal frames of electrically heated appliances shall not be required to be connected to an equipment grounding conductor, in which case the frame shall be permanently and effectively insulated from ground. Bonding special cases, separately derived systems like generator need their metal parts and piping bonded to their own grounding system, then tied into the building ground. This ensures grounding consistency across all power sources. Occupancies: A. Refrigerator, freezer, and air conditioners. B. Clothes washing, clothes drying, dishwashing machine, Regis kitchen waste disposer, information technology equipment, sound pumps, and electrical aquarium equipment. C. Handheld motor operated tools, stationary and fixed motor operated tools, and light industrial motor operated tools. D. Motor operated appliances of the following types: hedge clipper, lawn mower, and wet scrubber, portable lamp. This this slide emphasizes that lightning protection system absolutely must be connected to the building main grounding system. This creates a designated route for lightning, diverting its energy safely to the earth and minimizing damage to the structure and electrical system. Think of it as controlled release valve for massive electrical surges. In other than residential occupancies, a refrigerator, freezer, and air conditioner. B. Clothes washing, clothes drying, dishwashing machine, information technology equipment, some pumps, and electrical aquarium equipment. C. Handheld motor operated tools, stationary fixed motor operated tools, and light industrial operated tools. D. Motor operated appliances of the following types: hedge clipper, lawn mowers, and wet scrubber. E. Portable land lamps. F. Cord and plug connected appliances used in damp or wet location or by persons standing on the ground or a metal force or working inside of metal tanks or boilers. G. Tools likely to be used in wet or conductive location. This slide addresses when non-current carrying metal parts of equipment must be connected to a grounding conductor. The goal is to protect personnel from shock hazard. This includes equipment in wet location near grounded object or running at high voltage. Exception: tools and portable lamps like to be used in wet or conductive location shall not be required to be connected to an equipment grounding conductor where supplied through an isolating transformer with an underground secondary of not over 50 volts. 2.50.6.7 Non-electrical equipment. The metal parts of the following non-electrical equipment described in this section shall be connected to the equipment grounding conductor. Number 1. Frames and tracks of electrical operated cranes and hoists. Number 2. Frames of non-electrically driven elevator cars to which electrical conductors are attached. 3. Hand-operated metal shifting ropes or cables of electrical elevators. And where extensive metal in or on buildings or structure may become energized and it's subject to personal contact. Adequate bonding and grounding will provide additional safety. Not everything needs to be grounded. Double insulated equipment or distribution apparatus high up on poles might be exception. This slide clarifies these edge cases. 2.50.6.9 Types of equipment grounding conductors. The equipment grounding conductor run with or enclosing the circuit conductor shall be one or more or combination of the following: 1. A copper, aluminum, or copper-clad aluminum conductor. This conductor shall be solid or stranded, insulated, covered by or bear and in form of a wire or bus bar of any shape. 2. Rigid metal conduit. 3. Intermediate metal conduit. 4. Electrical metallic tubing. 5. Listed flexible metal conduit meeting all the following conditions. A conduit is terminated in listed fitting. The circuit conductors contained in the conduit are protected by overcurrent devices rated at 20 amperes or less. The size of the conduit does not exceed metric decimeter 35 thread size 11 4. Combined length of flexible metal conduit and flexible metallic tubing and liquid tight flexible metal conduit in the same ground fault current path does not exceed 1,800 mm. If used to connect equipment where flexibility is necessary to minimize the transmission of vibration from equipment or to provide flexibility for equipment that requires movement after installation, an equipment grounding conductor shall be installed. Specific equipment such as motor, switchgear, and switchboard need all ground to prevent short circuit. You can use everything. Listed liquid tight flexible metal conduit meeting all the following conditions. A. The conduit is terminated in listed fitting. B. For metric decimeter 12 through 16, trade 16, 338 through 2. The circuit conductor contained in conduit are protected by overcurrent devices rated at 20 amperes or less. For metric decimeter 21 to 35, trade sizes 3, 4 through 1 quart. The circuit conductor contained in the conduit are protected by overcurrent devices rated not more than 60 amperes, and there is no flexible metal conduit. Flexible metallic tubing or liquid flexible metal conduit in trade size metric 12 through 16, trade sizes 8 through 1/2 in the ground fault current path. The combined length of the flexible metal conduit and the flexible metal tubing and the liquid tight flexible metal conduit in the same ground fault current path does not exceed 1.8 meter, 6 feet. If used to connect where flexibility is necessary to minimize the transmission of vibration from equipment or to provide flexibility for equipment that requires movement after installation, an equipment grounding conductor shall be installed. For all circuits, alarm needs it to because you can get better performance and less risk for the user and the things around it. Hindi man dyan makuha. Flexible metallic tubing where the tubing is terminated in listed fitting and meeting the following condition. A. The circuit conductors contained in the tubing are protected by overcurrent devices rated at 20 amperes or less. B. The combined length of flexible metal conduit and flexible metallic tubing and liquid tight flexible metal conduit in the same ground fault current path does not exceed 1,300 mm. 8. Armor of type AC cable as provided in 3.20.3.9. 9. The copper sheet or mineral insulated metal sheet cable type MI. 10. Type MC cable that provides an effective ground fault current path in accordance with one or more of the following. It contains an insulated or uninsulated equipment grounding conductor and complies with 2.50.6.91. B. The combined metallic sheet and insulated equipment grounding bonding conductor of water electrical or water pump is dangerous. You need to connect the ground in a proper way for each steps. Interlock metal type MC cable that is listed and identified as an equipment grounding conductor. C. The metallic sheet or the combined metallic sheet and equipment grounding conductors of the smooth or corrugated tube type MC cable that is listed and identified as an equipment grounding conductor. 11. Cables tray as permitted in 3.92.2.1 and 3.92.2.21. 12. Cable bus framework as permitted in 3.70.2.21. 13. Other listed electrical continuous metal raceway and listed auxiliary gutters. 14. Surface metal raceway for grounding. FAN for a definition of fictive ground fault current path. Conductors unless required elsewhere in this code. Equipment grounding conductor shall be permitted to be bare covered or insulated. Individually covered or insulated equipment grounding conductor shall have a continuous outer finish that is either green or with or one or more yellow stripe except as permitted in this section. Conductors with insulation or individually covering that is green. Green with one or more yellow stripe or others otherwise identified as permitted by this section shall not be used for undergrounded or grounded circuit conductors. Plug need grounded. It is really important to connect every plug in proper because this can cause too much damage to the user and the components. Exception number 1, power limited class 2 or class 3 cables. Power limited fire alarms cable or communication cable containing only circuits operating at less than 50 volts were connected to equipment not required to be grounded in accordance with 2.50.6.3 shall be permitted to use a conductor with green insulation or green with one or more yellow stripe for other than equipment grounding purposes. Exception number 2, flexible cords having integral insulation and jacket without an equipment grounding conductor shall be permitted to have a continuous outer finish that is green. FAN, an example of a flexible cord with integral type insulation is type SPT2 conductor. Exception number 3, conductors with green insulation shall be permitted to be used as undergrounded signal conductors were installed between the output termination of traffic signal controls and traffic signal indicating heads. Signaling circuit installed in accordance with this exception shall include an equipment grounding conductors in accordance with 2.50.6.9 wire type equipment grounding conductor shall be bare or have voltage need plug grounding too. You need to plug that can handle more voltage. Insulation or covering that is green with one or more yellow stripe. A. Conductors 22 millimeters squared and larger. Equipment grounding conductors 22 mm squared and larger shall comply with 2.50.6.10 E1 and E2. 1. Unsulated or covered conductor 22 mm squared and larger shall be permitted at the time of installation to be permanently identified as an equipment grounding conductor at each end on at every point where the conductor is accessible. Exception: conductors 22 mm squared and larger shall not be required to be marked in conduit bodies that contain no splices or unused hubs. Number 2, identification shall encircle the conductors and shall be accomplished by one of the following. A. Stripping the insulation or covering from the entire exposed lane. B. Coloring the insulation or covering grain at the termination. C. Marking the insulation or covering with green tape or green adhesive label at the termination. Non-electricity equipments need grounding. You need to use protection and follow all the steps because you maybe can damage anything. B. Multi-conductor cable, where the condition of maintenance and supervision ensure that only qualified persons service the installation one or more insulation conductor in a multi-conductor cable. At the time of installation, shall be permitted to be permanently identified as equipped grounding conductors at each end and every point where the conductors are accessible by one of the following means. 1. Stripping the insulation from the entire exposed length. Number 2. Coloring the exposed insulation grain. Number 3. Marking the exposed insulation with green tape or green adhesive label. Identification shall encircle the conductor. C. Flexible cord equipment grounding conductor in flexible cord shall be insulated and shall have a continuous outer finish that is either green or green one or more yellow stripes. 2.50.6.11 with equipment grounding conductor insulation. An equipment grounding conductor shall be installed in accordance with 2.50.6.11 A and B and C. A raceway cable armors, cable bus, or cable sheet where it consists of a raceway cable tray cable armor, cable bus, framework, or cable sheet, or where is wire within a raceway or cable. Types of equipment grounding conductors. There are many connections so that try always to use the best and everything related it. C. Flexible cord. Equipment grounding conductor in flexible cord shall be insulated and shall have a continuous outer finish that is neither green or green, one or more yellow stripes. 2.50.6.11 with equipment grounding conductor installation. An equipment grounding conductor shall be installed in accordance with 2.50.6.11 A and B. And C. A. Raceway cable trees, cable armor, cable bus, or cable sheet where consist of raceway cable tray, cable armor, cable bus, framework, or cable sheet, or where it is wired within a raceway or cable. It shall be installed in accordance with the application provision in this code using fittings for joint and termination approved for use with the type raceway or cable use. All connection joints and fittings shall be made tight using suitable tools. FAN. See the UL guide information on FHIT system for equipment grounding conductor installed in a raceway that are part of electrical circuit protective system or a rated cable listed to maintain circuit integrity. B. Aluminum and copper clad aluminum conductor equipment grounding conductors or of beer or insulated aluminum or copper clad aluminum shall be permitted. Bare conductor shall not come in direct contact with masonry or the earth or were subject to corrosive condition. Aluminum or copper clad aluminum conductor shall not be terminated within 450 mm of the earth. C. Equipment grounding conductors smaller than 14 mm squared were not routed with circuit conductor as permitted in 2.50.7.1c and 2.50.7.5b. Exception number 2. Equipment grounding conductors smaller than 14 mm square shall be protected from physical damage by an undefined raceway or cable armor unless installed within hollow spaces of the framing members of building or structures and were not subject to physical damage. 2.50.6.12 Use of equipment grounding conductor. An equipment grounding conductor shall not be used as grounding electric conductor. Exception A. Wire type equipment grounding conductor installed in compliance with 2.50.1.6a and the applicable requirements for both the requirements grounding conductor and the grounding electric conductor and parts 2.50.2.50.2 and 2.50.6 shall be permitted to serve as both an equipment grounding conductor and grounding electrode conductor. 2.50.6.13 Size of equipment grounding conductor. A. General copper, aluminum or copper clad aluminum equipment grounding conductor of the wire type shall not be smaller than shown in table 2.50.6.13, but in no case shall they be required to be larger than the circuit conductor supplying the equipment where a cable tray, a raceway, or a cable armor or sheet is used as the equipment grounding conductor, as provided in 2.50.6.9 and 2.50.7.5a. It shall comply with 2.50.1.4a 5 or B4. Equipment grounding conductor shall be permitted to be sectioned within a multi-conductor cable, provided to combine cross-sectional area complies with table 2.50.6.13. Grounding connects metal parts to the earth for safety. Service equipment. Main power needs solid grounding. Exception exists for buried stuff and some existing setup. Connect metal parts together to ensure a safe path for electricity during a fault or short circuit. This includes things like pipes and metal frames. Communication system needs special bonding too. B. Increase in size where underground conductor are increased in size from the minimum size that has sufficient capacity for intended installation. Wire type equipment grounding conductor where installed shall be increased in the size proportionately according to the cross-sectional area of the underground conductor. C. Multiple circuit. Where a single equipment grounding conductor is run with multiple circuit in the same raceway cable or cable tree, it shall be sized for the largest current device protecting conductors in the raceway, cable or cable tree. Equipment grounding conductors installed in cable tree shall meet the minimum requirements of 3.92.2.1 B1C. D. Motor circuit equipment grounding conductor for motor circuit shall be sized in accordance with D1 or D2. 1. General, the equipment grounding conductor shall not be smaller than determined by 2.50.6.13a based on the rating of the branch circuit and ground pull protective device. 2. Instantaneous trip circuit breaker and motor short circuit protector, where the overcurrent device is an instantaneous trip circuit breaker or motor short circuit protector. The equipment grounding conductor shall be sized not smaller than the given by 2.50.6.13a using the maximum permitted rating of a dual element time delay fuse selected for branch circuit, short circuit, and ground fault protection in accordance with 4.30.4.2 C1. Exception number 1. A. Flexible cord and fixture wire. The equipment grounding conductor in a flexible cord with a larger circuit conductor 5.5 mm squared, it is 2.6 mm dia or smaller, and the equipment grounding conductor used with fixture wires of any size in accordance with 2.40.1.5 shall not be smaller than 0.75 mm squared. Copper and nut shall be smaller than the circuit conductor. The equipment grounding conductor in a flexible cord with a circuit conductor larger than 5.5 mm squared shall be sized in accordance with table 2.50.6.13. F. According in parallel for circuit of a parallel conductor as permitted in 3.10.10 H. The equipment grounding conductor shall be installed in accordance with 1 or 2. 24. 1. A conductor installation in raceway, auxiliary gutters or cable trays. A. Single raceway or cable tray. If conductors are installed in parallel in the same raceway or cable tray, a single wire type conductor shall be permitted as the equipment grounding conductor. The wire type equipment grounding conductor shall be sized in accordance with 2.50.6.13 based on the overcurrent protecting device for the feeder or branch circuit. Wire type equipment grounding conductor installed in cable trees shall meet the minimum requirements of 3.92.2.1 B1C. Metal raceway or auxiliary gutters in accordance with 2.50.6.9 or cable trees complying with 3.92.2.51b shall be permitted as equipment grounding conductor. Table 2.6.13 minimum size equipment grounding conductor for grounding raceway and equipment. Rating or setting of automatic overcurrent device in circuit ahead of equipment conduit, etc., not exceeding amperes. Size millimeter squared, mm dia, copper aluminum or copper clad aluminum. Note: where necessary to comply with 2.50.1.4a 5 or B4, the equipment grounding conductor shall be sized larger than given in this table. See installation restriction in 2.50.6.11. Wires sizes. Specific tables like table 2.50.5.13 dictate the correct size of grounding bonding wires jumpers. It depends on the size of the main power wires. Pipes and frames. Metal water pipes and building frames need to be connected, bonded to the electric grounding system. Lightning rod system must connect to the building grounding. Multiple raceways. If conductors are installed in parallel in multiple raceway, wire type equipment grounding conductor where used shall be installed in parallel in each raceway. The equipment grounding conductor installed in each raceway shall be sized in compliance in 2.50.6.13 based on the overcurrent protective device with a feeder or branch circuit. Metal raceway or auxiliary gutters in accordance with 2.50.6.9 or cable trays complying with 3.92.2.51 B shall be permitted as the equipment grounding conductor. 2. Multi-conductor cables. If multi-conductor cables are installed in parallel, the equipment grounding conductors in each cable shall be connected in parallel. B. Multi-conductor cables are installed in a parallel in the same raceway, auxiliary gutters, or cable tray. A single equipment grounding conductor that is sized in accordance with 2.50.6.13 shall be permitted in combination with the equipment grounding conductors provided within the multi-conductor cables and shall all be connected together. Equipment grounding conductor installed in a cable tree shall meet the minimum requirements of 3.92.2.1. Cable trees complying with 3.92.2.51b. Metal raceway in accordance with 2.50.6.9 or auxiliary gutter shall be permitted as the equipment grounding conductor. D. Except as provided in 2.50.6.13. B. For raceway or cable trays installation, the equipment grounding conductor in each multi-conductor shall be sized in accordance with 2.50.6.13 based on the overcurrent protective device for the feeder or branch. G. Feeder taps equipment grounding conductor tutti with feeder taps shall not be smaller than the shown in table 22.55.0.6.13 based on the rating of the overcurrent device ahead of the feeder, but shall not required to larger than the top conductors. 2.50.6.15 equipment grounding conductor continuity. A. Separable connection such as provided in draw-out equipment or attachment, plug, and meeting. All provide for the first make, last break of equipment connectors and receptacles. Metal parts of the electrical equipment, motor, appliances, etc. that could become energized need to be grounded for safety. This applies in wet areas, near metal, or in hazardous location. Cord and plug connection to stop often needs grounding too. Grounding can be done with wires, metal conduit, or special cable. Grounding conductor first make, last break shall not be required where interlock equipment, plug, receptacles, and connector preclude energization without continuity. B. Switches no automatic cutout or switch shall be replaced in an equipment grounding conductor of a premises wiring system unless the opening of the cutout or switch connection all sources of energy. 2.50.6.17 Identification or wiring device terminal. The terminal for connection of the equipment grounding conductor shall be identified by one of the following. A. Green, not readily removed terminal screw with hexagonal head. A. Green, hexagonal, not readily removed terminal nut. A green pressure wire connector if the terminal for equipment grounding conductor is not visible. The conductor entrance hole shall be marked with the word green or ground. The letter G or GR a grounding symbol or otherwise identified by a distinctive green color. If the terminal for the equipment grounding conductor is readily removable, the area adjacent to the terminal shall be similarly marked. FAN figure 2.50.6.17. One example of the symbol used to identify the grounding termination point for an equipment grounding conductor. 2.50.7 Methods of equipment grounding conductor connection. Equipment grounding conductor connection at the source of the separately derived system shall be made in accordance with 2.50.2.1. Equipment grounding conductor connection at service equipment shall be made as indicated in 2.50.7.1 A or B for replacement of non-grounding type receptacles with grounding type receptacles and for branch circuit extension only in existing insulation that do not have an equipment grounding conductor in a branch circuit connection shall be permitted as indicated in 2.50.7.1 C. 2.50.7.1 Equipment. A. For grounded system, that connection shall be made by bonding the equipment grounding conductor to the grounded service conductor and the grounding electrode conductor. Grounding conductor. First make. Grounding wires are usually green or green with yellow stripes. Tables like 2.50.6.13 specify the correct size for equipment grounding wires. Grounding connection must be solid and reliable. Grounding terminals on device have special marking. Basically, grounding protect people and bonding protect equipment.